Hey guys, what is going on? It is Ando, and it is time for another Galaxy of Heroes video where we rank what everyone has been adding R10 on. Now, you might be telling yourself, why would I care about what everyone else is doing for Relic 10? And I'm here to tell you, well, it's very important because if you understand Galaxy of Heroes, it is about resource management, resource development, and people have, for whatever reason, gravitated towards these decisions. Now, Relic 10 at this point in Galaxy of Heroes is our most substantial investment that you can do. So obviously people aren't just doing it for, hopefully they're not just doing it for the memes, but if they are, then hopefully they're at least enjoying that. So that's why we want to talk about this. That's why we want to understand why people are doing this. So I'm going to give my commentary a little bit on what's happening, and we'll talk. I've got some numbers up here, so you'll constantly see me glancing over here a little bit, but I'm really excited for this because, again, this represents the pinnacle of this game. So what are the pinnacle players of this game choosing to invest in? So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So our first one right off the bat, this is crazy, but I kind of called this out last month, and that's Darth Bane. Darth Bane fell off this list, actually. So we don't have any more Darth Bane. He is no longer number 10. And you could see there that there's 850 of them back in December when I did this video last time. So this will come a little bit surprising to me, as obviously I know Bane just has his following of people that just want him. He's, pretty good. Obviously he's not the worst choice. I just didn't think that there was a lot of stats that really benefited him. So in his place of Bane, right, we are seeing Sith Eternal Emperor added in. So as you can see on my screen, number 10 right now, he was not rated last time, but he's holding the 10th spot, and he currently has 2,218. Now again, there's a very heavy GL centric stuff on here, which is very understandable. Again, when you factor in the Galactic Legend unique, when you factor in just adding more bulk into these GLs, there's not a bunch of stuff that you could just point to a GL and be like, that is just completely wrong. But I am a little bit surprised, and I have to believe there's something that is going on. I have to believe that like these 2,218, some of these guys are Gauntlet Guild, and they've found something. And again, I don't know. I'm not in the Gauntlet anymore. Don't know. I don't get all the happenings. But it should be really interesting to see in the future, because maybe it was just a territory wars thing where they really needed that extra bulk. Maybe, again, it's just because it's a GL theme and we're just kind of going that way. But I do find it very interesting that C all of a sudden is getting Relic 10s. So let's keep our eye on that one. So the next one here is Pirate King Hondo. I will say on the game here, you will see the old number, right? This is the old number that we had in December when I first did this video. So right now, Pirate King Hondo remains unchanged as far as his rank goes, but his new number is 4,545. Now, if you remember last month, I said that I thought that this number was going to go up. I actually think there's quite a bit to like with Relic 10 Pirate King Hondo. It's not as much as I expected, but I also will say that maybe this is the new GL bias, or whatever you want to call it, that most people just don't have him unlocked, so you can't even relic him up because you just don't have him. So that might be some of it. I would not be surprised if by next month he starts really climbing. I think that a lot of people do like, the extra tenacity and all the other things that kind of come with him. And the just the mastery gain in general. So I will say that might happen. So next on this list, we had JML. Now, in December when we did this, he was 3,044. Now, if you can kind of see the numbers around him, you can kind of understand that this is actually our biggest rank fall, our biggest rank in, Delta, so to speak. He was last month in December when we did this, he was actually ranked number 4. This is a huge fall from grace. He is now ranked number 8. Again, that is a -4 rank difference, and he currently has 5,777, representing 2,733 that were added. which also represents our smallest amount of number that was added, at least so that we were tracked of, right? Like I think C would probably count in there, but obviously we didn't track him last time, so I don't have any data on when, what those numbers were, but I'd have to believe that C is, smaller than that. And obviously with JML, like this was one that I saw coming, right? And I said it, this is one that we're not getting a ton of protection gain. And I think people were misunderstanding how Jedi Lessons was going to work, as in, hey, everyone now is going to obviously like Relic Delta with his leadership ability. So he's Relic 10 and you're attacking a Relic 5, even though your character is a Relic 3. All of a sudden they would take on like his Relic 10 status. That obviously didn't happen, and I never took it that way, but I know some people did. And so I think a lot of people have sort of figured that out. I think even Arnold made a video about it. So the word is out, right? JML R10, not the best decision. You do get a little bit of protection gain, so you're going to see a little increase in damage, but it's nothing to write home about. And clearly now our ranks are kind of representing that. Okay, so next we have JMK. Now, at December, he had 2,772. And right now he currently has 6,196. And this is one that I still just don't get, guys. Please stop doing this to me. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it is something that, I just don't know. This does represent he did go down in rank by 1. So it's not like people are just haphazardly adding and continue to add, and his stock is rising, so to speak. But it does represent 3,424 people that still saw fit to add it to him. I don't know why. Again, if you guys know why people are adding to JMK, let me know in the comment section down below. But I personally don't know why I wouldn't add him. He's you can see on my screen, he is still Relic 8 when most of my GLs are Relic 9. So that maybe I'm just a hater, right? Maybe I'm just a hater. But let's talk about who's next. Lord Vader. Now, this one is shocking to me, actually, because Lord Vader was ranked number 5 last time, and now he is ranked number 6. And this is, again, shocking to me. Like, I really like Lord Vader with Relic 10. And on top of that, like, he is kind of just having his way with people on, GAC and Territory Wars and all that other good stuff. Relic 10 is extra scary. Like, there are times where he does a Force Crush and then just like vanishes 2 of my guys because of the Relic difference. And also he has a Datacron right now that is just making him crazy OP. So I'm very surprised to see that he fell a rank. There was still a considerable amount of people that added, right? 4,872. I don't know. I really figured that, even with just the extra tenacity, right? JML having some troubles now adding that ability block, whatever the case is, and that mastery gain, he loves mastery. So I just felt like, hey, this was going to be one of those ones that eventually people are going to be like, listen, I got to get a Relic 10 Lord Vader. But let me know what you guys thought on that. Is, again, it's not a bad number, 4,800, almost 5,000 people decided to add Relic 10 onto him in, a little over a month time frame, but it is just a little bit surprising to me. All right, let's go on to the next one. We have Ahsoka Tano. Now, she had 2,700 last time we saw this, and she is now 5th. She has gained 2 spots. She was in 7th place last time, and now she is a top 5 Relic 10 ad that we have so far. Now, she currently has 8,373, which represents a delta of 5,673. So a lot of people are saying, hey, I really like this. Now, this one is not that surprising to me, again, because we are seeing, again, the tank cron with her is pretty impressive, right? And there's a lot of timeouts. And again, I've heard stories of Territory Wars where you've got, a wall of 50 Ahsoka Tanos, and, 90% of them are Relic 10. And you're going to get a decent fallout of people just timing out on that team because you have to kill her twice. So not as surprising on this one. I kind of expected this, and I think I said something to that effect. I bet this goes up, but that's where we're at. Okay, so next one. This one is a little surprising to me as well. SLKR, when we did this video, he had 4,022. He was ranked number 2 on the list. I thought, and I think I said this at the time, I think it's an excellent one. He kind of beats everything, right? And there's so many things that he can kind of fall in there, whether it's UFU or whether it's First Order. So there's a lot of stuff that he can actually benefit from as far as datacrons go. He's very open, right? Even just level 3s, right? There's a lot of level 3s that, whether it's stacking, the buffs, stacking offense, whether it's bulk, whether it's, something else, there's a lot of stuff that he can do that makes him be a very strong candidate. But he dropped 2 spots for us. Now, he still had a really considerable add, right? He had 5,328 added to him, but very surprising, again, and we've seen it, with, now that he's got a lifter, and there's a lot of things he's able to beat. So I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of continues in this spot, but I do think that people will continue to add on to him. And so, yeah, let's go on to our top 3. We're breaking into the top 3. Now, there's a name in here that you guys haven't heard, and I kind of called that this was going to happen, but we have Rey. Now, she was at 2336 last time that we did this ranking, and she is now at 9,746, which represents our biggest rank delta that we've seen here in this list today, which was going from 8th place to all the way to 3rd place, which obviously then is the relic delta of 5 places. And she had 7,410 added to her since the last time we did this list. Now, again, I said this last time, I thought that this number was going to go up. There's a lot to like. Giving her extra health, giving her just, the GL unique, like we've said with every one of these guys, giving her extra tenacity. That's an important thing that she wants. So I'm not surprised by this at all. I am surprised it was this much, I will say, but I think people tend to, when you kind of look at those fast risers or the people that have risen in this list, I think what you really see is people that are like, hey, I am going to make this my opponent's problem, right? So by virtue of Rey being Rey and everyone placing Rey on defense, I think we saw an increase in Rey getting Relic 10. So that's my thought on it. And I think that makes sense again with like Ahsoka Tano. It's why I'm a little bit surprised with Lord Vader, because most people are using Lord Vader on defense. But that's potentially, I think, what's explaining some of these Relic 10s, right? Hey, I'm going to put a delta on people. And it's up to them whether they can pass the Relic Delta gate or not. So interesting enough, Rey is there, but let's move on to this one. And this is one that I said I wasn't as a believer last time, right? And you guys will recall that. So 3,047 Relic 10 Darth Revans last time. I knew the reason why. I knew the reason that it was going to be Leviathan, the extra speed boost. I had said, hey, listen, I don't get it because you can still beat it. And I did make mention that, hey, like, I also think that maybe this is just a efficiency play, right? Because maybe you're making the players bleed banners and all this other stuff. It is true. You can beat it. It is very true. I beat it every single day in Fleet Arena. I will say I've placed it, or I have seen it placed on me now in GAC. There's a special lineup that you can kind of get going early on. And it even kind of eliminates the cheese, which is the TIE Reaper cheese, or at least has a chance. Again, AI still plays it somewhat weird. You can still kind of get lucky with how AI prioritizes some of the specials and stuff like that. But that being said, this is absolutely kind of a game changer, I will say, more than I at least gave credit to. So one, yes, it's quality of life. You can basically just kind of go into Fleet Arena, hit auto, and you're going to win every single time kind of thing, unless they've also got a Relic 10 Leviathan. But number two, even if you can cheese this in GAC or Territory Wars, you are looking at Banner Bleed. And Banner Bleed is the name of the game, right? Like at this point, with a lot of the top end players, with the efficiency meta where it's at, this is the one that makes sense. Now, again, 3,047. The number that he's currently at is 11,216. He gains 1 rank. He was 3rd on the list last time, and now he is 2nd. He has an added delta there of 8,169. And again, this makes sense, right? I think the fact that a lot of people will be able to put Leviathan on defense and then have it bleed banners is where people are going with this. So again, I think this makes sense. I will say was wrong to probably assume that I knew everything. And I don't want to give too much credit to myself, but I did say there might just be something I'm not seeing, and I've seen it now. And I will say it's a good ad, right? I think we're all just waiting for a new fleet meta, but in the interim, it's a good quality of life ad. It's also a good PvP ad as well. So let's go to our number 1, which remains unchanged. It's the queen herself, Leia Organa. She's not a queen, but still, I just figured we'd call her the queen because she's number 1. But she has 15,455 from her 6,436. I will say I'm a little bit surprised that she's still number 1. Again, just based off of what the Datacrons did to Leia, what the Datacrons did to some of the other GLs. I figured that maybe there would start to be a little bit more of a sliding bar, so to speak. I thought she would kind of fall maybe a little bit, but I was completely wrong. 9,019 added since the last time we did this video. And some of it makes sense, right? She is the primary counter to like pretty much every GL, but she is the primary counter to Ahsoka Tano, unless, of course, you get unlucky and you can't kill who you need to kill on the first Drogon shot. But she's very good. Again, I don't know how long this is going to last. I just think that maybe this was a little bit of she kills everything, so I'm just going to add Relic 10 to her. Anyways, that's my thoughts on this, guys. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this. Are you guys adding Relic 10 yet? Or are you guys just like me where you picked a random character like General Skywalker and you added Relic 10 and you are kind of just hoarding at this point? Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.